If you've watched some of my other videos, you've probably realized that I'm a pretty conservative investor. This is mainly because of how I was raised, seeing investing as gambling and risk as evil. But to be honest, it still speaks a lot about who I am today. Let me lay it out like this. Investment A, potential for huge results quickly, but you could lose heaps in the meantime. High risk, high reward. Investment B, guaranteed results over time, like a long time, but you know what you're going to get. Low risk, low reward. Which would you choose? For me, the answer is clear. I want a sure bet. I can wait for good things to happen if it's a certainty they're going to happen. Yeah, it's boring as hell, but you know what? If I know it will work, that's all the excitement I need. That's index funds. The low risk, low reward, very slow way to ensure you will be rich. And here's how they work. Investing in stocks can be daunting. What do you pick? When do you buy? When do you sell? And all the extra research that goes with that. On top of all that time and effort, there's no guarantee you'll actually be right. In fact, the likelihood is you'll be wrong. But don't take it from me, take it from the greatest investor ever.
If you're Warren Buffett, you can make million-dollar bets, and that's exactly what the Berkshire Hathaway CEO did back in 2007, placing a $1 million wager with asset manager Protege Partners that over 10 years, hedge funds would not outperform index funds. Well, here we are 10 years later. Is Buffett in line to win the bet?
Instead of picking stocks, an index fund is stocks. It's all of them. It's a bundle of every top stock for a small price. What it really is a market tracker. Instead of hoping your shares in Apple go up, you own a piece of the entire stock market and you ride the wave of capitalism. The key is diversification. A good way to think of it is like this. You could own a rental property and get 100% of the income from it. But if something goes wrong, the tenant doesn't pay or the place burns down, there goes your investment income. Or you could own 1% of 100 different rentals and you get 1% of all the rents. This way, if one or even a few tenants don't pay or a house burns down, you still have 99 others. That's index funds. If a few stocks go down, it doesn't matter because you have literally hundreds more in one diversified, robust index fund. The great part about index funds is it's a consistent way to grow your wealth over time, and you more or less know what you're going to get. Over the history of the stock market, the S&P 500 has returned 7 to 10% on average, and so it literally becomes set and forget. There's no deciding what to buy, when to sell, watching news and reading reports to analyze stocks. Each week, I simply invest into one index fund and forget about it. Compound interest takes over and my money grows. Here's an example. If you invest $100 a week into index funds, over your working career of 40 years, you'll have $1,347,094. This is how I plan to become a millionaire. If you're interested in hearing about that, I made a video discussing it which I've linked below. But the old saying is, time in the market beats timing the market, which is why Warren Buffett says this.
We've had world wars, we had 9/11, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, we have all kinds of things. The best single thing you could have done on March 11th, 1942, when I bought my first stock, was just buy an index fund and never look at a headline, never think about stocks anymore, just like you would do if you bought a farm. You just buy the farm and let the tenant farmer run it for you. And I pointed out that if you'd put $10,000 in an index fund that reinvested dividends, And I paused for a moment to let the audience try and guess how much it amount to. And it would come to $51 million now. And the only thing you had to really believe in then is that America would win the war and that America would progress as it has ever since 1776. And that American business, if America moved forward, American business would move forward. You didn't have to worry about what stock to buy. You didn't have to worry what day to get in and out. You didn't know the Federal Reserve would exist, whatever it might be.
I personally invest with Vanguard, the creators of index funds. But you can buy them with pretty much any broker nowadays. You might also hear them called ETFs, or exchange traded funds. These funds operate the same as index funds, except they trade on the market like a singular stock would, so you can see their price in real time. I'm planning to release a guide on how you can start investing in index funds now, so I want you to stay tuned to the channel for more upcoming information. My goal here is to provide as much free information as I can, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. But to wrap it up, with index funds, you invest in the stock market itself. You bet on capitalism. And yes, there might be rocky years where there is market crashes and corrections, but you know that over your working life, you're safe, and your future will flourish because of it.